Hi guys, and today I'm bringing you a yummy and sweet treat for all of you who love your four-legged friends as much as we do here at home. This recipe is a yummy recipe made with all the little ingredients that this little four-legged people like. Here's Cookie. Say hi, Cookie. I have here 2.5 cups of whole wheat flour, which I'm going to mix in with half teaspoon of salt and a half teaspoon of cinnamon. So I'm gonna mix this in really nicely, and now I'm going to add my other ingredients. So what I have here is I have a can of pumpkin puree. I'm just gonna add it all in, along with two to three, and it really depends. My dog really loves peanut butter, so I really added 3 heaping tablespoons of peanut butter, and I chose the creamy peanut butter so it's easier to knead and for her to chew as well. I'm gonna add this 3 heaping tablespoons of peanut butter. Here you go. So now we have our flour, our salt, our cinnamon, our pumpkin, and then we have our peanut butter as well, so you can see here. And then we're gonna also add 2 whole eggs. So what I did is I broke them into a little bowl and I beat them just a tiny bit so that I can just have them already, so I'm not struggling when I'm kneading all this. So I'm gonna start covering this up, and then I'm gonna add my eggs into the mix. And this is pretty much, it's like making a sugar cookie, the way you're gonna knead it as well. It's like making a sugar cookie. The only difference is we're not adding any sugar into here, okay? So I'm gonna start mixing all these ingredients. I'm gonna mix them together, and I'm gonna do that with my spatula until you can't really mix anymore with the spatula. Then you'll start using your hands to knead this, because we gotta knead it just like we would do with a sugar cookie. We need to knead it a little bit so it can all come together, and then we put it in a bowl, and then we're gonna stretch it, and then we're gonna cut it. And this recipe should give you around 25 doggy treats, but it all depends how you cut them, okay? But for the purposes of this video today, I'm gonna cut them with this little dog bone cookie cutter. That way my kids don't get confused that these are for the dog. And I'm also gonna cut it with a donut cutter, okay? And as you can see, it's all coming together. And pretty much what I'm doing with my spatula is bringing all the ingredients from the bottom of the bowl to the top, and I'm just squeezing to combine. So from the bottom to the top, I bring it in, and then you blend them in, okay? So this is coming together, but I think this is the part where I'll start wanting to use my hands, just because my hands will give it, like the final touch that they need. I also have some water in the side, because if for some reason your dough is a little too dry, just go ahead and wet your hands a little bit. It's like making a pie crust. You wet your hands a little bit, drizzle some water until you have the nice consistency that you are looking for, okay? Same thing if your dough is too wet. What I would recommend is adding a little bit of flour, a little bit at a time. So here we go. Now I'm going to knead this nice dough, and it's already starting to smell so delicious. I mean, yummy. I think my dog is really gonna like this today. And she's really looking forward to it. She's already smelling it. She's probably at my feet waiting for some peanut butter to drop on the floor. So see how I'm grabbing from the bottom, bringing to the top, and then I push the dough in, okay? And my dough has still has a little sticky consistency, but that's okay. I'm gonna need a little more, and if it still has a sticky consistency, what I will do, I will add a little bit more of whole wheat flour, okay? Just so that the consistency kind of dries out a little bit. So that's what I'm going to do now. All right, so I'm gonna add a little bit, and it's just add a little bit at a time. I'm not gonna tell you to add another half cup or anything like that. So what I like to do is I like to grab it in my hand and I like to drizzle it, and then I'll knead again, okay? And again, if it's too dry, you'll add a little bit more water in the same way I did with the flour. I will grab the water and drizzle it in the dough. And now, but because mine was a little too sticky, I grabbed my flour, I drizzled it in the bowl, and I put it in the dough. So I like how this is coming up. I have my oven at 350 degrees. And once we're ready to cook these doggy treats, we're going to be cooking them for 40 minutes, okay? Now I like this consistency, I really do, because it's workable. So see how it's no longer sticking to my hands. Actually now it's staying together. So see, like if I bring it into a bowl, it stays together in a bowl. And I just gotta tell you, it smells delicious. I mean, I love peanut butter. So here you go. So here's our dough. As you can see, it's no longer as sticky as it was before. Okay, and I'm just gonna now put it in a parchment sheet of paper, which I have here. I cut one out. Okay, and I'm gonna get the smaller one and then use the other one for my cookie sheet. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to roll this. It's a pretty big ball, as you can see. So maybe what you wanna do, which I'm going to do now before we roll it, is we're going to cut it in half. That way it's easier to roll. Okay, and we'll do each half one at a time. So I'm gonna roll it again in a little disc, okay, little disc ball. Then I'm just gonna put a little bit of flour around, okay, and I'm gonna just get my rolling pin. So here I'm gonna add a little bit of flour on top of my dough and some in my rolling pin, so that when I start rolling, it avoids, it doesn't get sticky. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to roll this, as you can see, with a rolling pin. I like using this rolling pin when I'm rolling cookies. And then you can adjust your parchment paper, you can flip it, and then you can start rolling the other way, okay? I suggest not to make your cookies so thick but not so thin. If we make it too thin, then when we're cooking them, they have a risk to get really, really crispy. Here we go, and then I'm just gonna turn again. And as you can see now, like, see how the dough is not sticking to my rolling pin, which is good. And if it was, all you need to do is, remember, add a little bit of flour on top, and then a little bit of flour to your rolling pin, and that's what you will do. So I like the thickness of this. Now what we're gonna do is we're going to go ahead and start cutting this on the shapes that I have mentioned before. So I have here a doggy bone cutter, and I'm gonna cut a few on the doggy bones.